Guybrush, come over here. Gently now. Remove my mask.
Will you promise to stop picking on me?
All right, I promise. Anything. Just put my leg back on.
Hey, you kids. You're not supposed to be in here.
What's next?
Let's goof on those two. Pretend they're our parents.
Yeah! Sorry we ran off. You were probably worried about murderers and ne'er-do-wells.
Don't worry, I found him.
Come on, let's go.
Let's pretend I have powers that make lightning come out of my eyes.
It's so lifelike.
I wonder if it's real. Sorry, boys, could you stop following us? It's creepy.
Yes,
sir. Come on. I saw a scurvy dog shack back there.
Scurvy dogs. I've never had one of those.
No way. You have to try one. It's the best thing you'll ever eat in your life. No fooling.
Wow. What should we do next?
We've got to get to scurvy dogs. I can't believe you never had one. I once got a scurvy dog that was bigger than my head.
They put it on a leg to keep you from walking off with it. I'll bring this right back, sir.
You'd be wise to do that. I got the leg from the last kid who didn't bring back the key.
It unlocks the outhouse outside.
Some places you go have scurvy dogs with cheese inside.
That's where the outhouse key was. Looks like they need a swabby in here. I'll never be the ship's swabby. That is really, really low. Can we get a couple scurvy dogs?
Sure. If you give me a piece of 8, that's money that grown-ups use.
I know what a piece of 8 is.
Good for you. You can have a couple of dogs if you give me one.
Please? Can't you spare something for a couple of hungry kids?
Listen up, you little moocher. Let me tell you something. I don't like kids. I'm an honest businessman trying to make an honest living. I don't need 50 kids a day coming in and wasting my time trying to get me to give them free food.
I guess never mind.
Hey, I know. Let's look for change in the outhouse across the way. Coins fall out of people's pockets when they sit down in there.
It's locked. Good thing I've got the key in my pocket.
Good, you unlocked it.
Chucky, why don't you look in the toilet?
No way, you do it.
Okay. Gross. 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 It isn't a piece of 8, but it's a round piece of metal about the same size and shape as a piece of 8.
That's called a slug. It's like a fake coin.
A fake coin is almost as good as a real coin.
I once had the hiccups.
I don't see any coins, and I'm not putting my hands in that. Ugh, what is this stuff? It smells the same as the toilet. Please wash hands before leaving outhouse. I'm not sure how we can get scurvy dogs without any pieces of 8.
We might have all we need. I don't think that guy can see very well.
I'm not sure how we can get scurvy dogs without any pieces of 8.
We might have all we need. I don't think that guy can see very well.
You kids better have money.
Yeah, we've got all kinds of money. Can we get a couple of scurvy dogs?
Sure, if you give me a piece of 8.
What can we get with this?
Tastes like a piece of 8. Enough for a couple of scurvy dogs if you want.
Perfect!
Take 'em, boy.
What are you getting?
What?
Just kidding. Here's yours. So good. What do you want to do now?
I don't know. What do you want to do? I wonder where those 2 people we were following went. Did you know you can keep a scurvy dog warm by sticking it in your armpit?
Wakey, wakey, Mr. Pirate. Hello? Boo!
Ha! He's dead to the world.
Sounds real. Hey, Chucky, get ready to run. I guess they don't like visitors.
That's my friend Dee. Hey, Dee.
Hey, Chucky, what are you jerk faces up to?
We just got here.
I'm making a list of stuff to do.
Give me that. I'm an expert planner. There. Perfect. See you around the park, shitheads.
That's a cool anchor.
That just shows how little you know about anchors. This one's not a very good example. You'd know that if you read as much about anchors as I have. Did you know that anchors originally weren't designed to hold ships in place? They were used in combat, shot from cannons as a grapple when you were trying to board another ship. They started making them bigger and bigger because they would do more damage that way. Then people noticed the current bow shape, but you can still on a modern anchor. That's to prevent the little most anchor about the but the word anchor. They're called
I can stand on my head without using my hands.
Hey, Chucky, want a race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2, 1, go! Chucky wins!
Woohoo! Yeah!
Next time for sure. You up for another race?
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2, 1, go! Chucky wins!
Woohoo! Yeah!
Darn.
You're on.
I'll officiate. 3, 2, 1, go!
I win!
Hey, hands off!
I want to say 2 scurvy dogs at the same time.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Could we have some of your bread to feed the duck?
I don't think so. We brought it for ourselves.
Excuse me.
Yes?
Will you pretend to be our parents again?
What do you mean, again?
Run along and find your real parents.
I have an extra tooth in the back. I can feel it with my tongue.
I wonder what's in that basket.
Let's find out.
What do you think you're doing? Kids these days have no regard for personal property.
And no risk.
Gotta run.
How rude.
Don't feed the duck.
Give it some of your bread.
It looks full. What's this red glob on the ground?
That's ketchup. It's supposed to be really good with scurvy dogs. Let's be frank. You can never hope to beat me.
No way! You'll never catch up to my level!
I win.
I win!
Nuh-uh.
You guys are both pretty weak.
Well, anyway, that was fun. What's this red glob on the ground?
That's ketchup. It's supposed to be really good with scurvy dogs. You should put that on your scurvy dog.
Do not pick the 4-leaf clovers. As if!
Did you know your feet won't smell if you don't wash them?
I should throw my coin in and make a wish. I should throw my coin in and make a wish. I wish Chucky had a mustache.
Ah! Whoa! I wonder where this path goes.
I found one!
Awesome!
There was still one left? Darn.
Hey, Dad.
Hello, Mr. Threepwood.
Hey kids, having fun?
Yeah!
We got scurvy dogs!
Those have toenails and stuff in them. Ugh, I read about it.
And we were playing your adventures! We just did Big Whoop.
Big whoop! Oh boy, that takes me back.
I like it when Chucky asks me to put his leg back on. He says it really funny.
You guys always make up the craziest stuff for the ending of that story.
It's fun!
But you can't just change it around. That's not how storytelling works.
A lot of your stories don't feel like they're finished at the end.
What do you mean?
Well, like, there's this one that you call The Secret of Monkey Island, where you went to Monkey Island and fought LeChuck.
Oh, that story has a great ending. There's punching and fireworks. I thought you liked that one.
But you never did find the secret. not the real one.
Sure, but that's not what that story was about. Kids, let me tell you a story that is about finding the secret of Monkey Island.
Is this a long story?
I think maybe I gotta go use the bathroom or something.
Yeah, I have to go walk my tarantula.
Maybe I should go with them.
No, stick around. This is a good one. See, there was a rumor going around that my old nemesis, LeChuck, had somehow discovered the exact location of the secret of Monkey Island. I knew I had to get it before he did, so I went to Melee to get my own expedition started and beat him to the punch. Feels good to be back on Melee Island, the hub of pirating in the Caribbean, where every good expedition begins. I'll see some old pals and get things rolling. Or sailing in this case. Hi, I'm Guybrush Threepwood. Remember me?
Haven't seen you in a while, Threepwood. What have you been up to?
Well, you know, freebooting mostly, swashing buckles and so on. But now I'm getting an expedition together to find the secret of Monkey Island.
Oh, you're sailing with LeChuck?
What? LeChuck's here in Melee? Is there widespread panic? Are people evacuating?
He doesn't seem interested in carnage at the moment. Ship's just here taking on supplies and crew, as far as I can tell.
Well, anyway, no, I'm not sailing with LeChuck. You know my history with him. I'm mounting my own voyage. Mine.
Well, you'd better get cracking then. LeChuck's loading up on the outer dock as we speak.
Well, I'm gonna hire a ship and a crew and beat him to the punch. Just as soon as I can get someone to back the venture. I'm a little short on funds at the moment.
In that case, you'll want to go talk to the pirate leaders at the Scum Bar.
Exactly. That's why I came to Melee. It'll be great to see those old guys again. We'll knock back a grog and hash out the details.
Scum Bar, by the docks. Long table in the back.
I know where I'm going.
We'll see.
I could stare at this forever, but that wouldn't be much fun for you. Re-elect Governor Carla. I'll talk to the pirate leaders before I go see what LeChuck is up to. I just came from up there. I really need to talk with the pirate leaders before I admire the view again. I'm here to talk to the pirate leaders about a new expedition.
In the back.
It's a book for storing collectible trivia cards. Looks like a circus act. Maybe. Have you seen the pirate leaders around? This is their table. In fact, you'd probably better move. You don't want to get caught sitting here.
It's our table, Rummy.
We're the pirate leaders.
Get lost.
Where are the three older guys who used to hold court here?
Who cares?
Probably crying in an alley somewhere, wishing they were still relevant.
Making up trials for each other and writing memoirs that no one will read.
Is it you I should talk to about financing an expedition?
An expedition. Who is it that you think you are exactly?
I'm the rock-solid investment you've been waiting for.
Spare me the greasy sales pitch.
Permission to slaughter the annoying old wastrel man, Captain Madison.
Wait, it was Captain Madison? She's like famous! I've got her on a trading card. Her plunder stats are amazing!
Plunder stats aren't everything.
Then the others were Captain Lila and Captain Trent. It was Lila who threatened to kill you?
Look, they weren't that great, okay? Listen to the story.
Want me to slaughter him?
Don't bother. He's just a harmless hack who thinks he has a good idea for a pirate raid.
I'm going to find the secret of Monkey Island.
You're wasting our time.
The secret? I didn't think that was even a real thing.
It's a prize of incalculable monetary value.
I don't know about incalculable. Quick, who can count to 0 the fastest?
Okay, I'm sensing some reluctance, but hear me out. I could make it worth your while to help me hire a crew. A percentage of their earnings or something?
No one in here wants to chase your pipe dream.
Could you at least point me towards an available ship?
You don't even have a ship?
You're really up a creek.
Up a creek without a ship.
If you don't take this opportunity, LeChuck will grab it.
LeChuck?
Yes, the dreaded zombie ghost pirate LeChuck himself is also going after the secret. He's here in Melee getting ready right now. If that doesn't prove it's a worthwhile venture, I don't know what else to tell you.
Great. Problem solved.
Excellent. You'll do it.
No, of course not. Why waste money on an expedition when you can just join the one that's already going?
Have fun with your scary ghost friend. Bye-bye.
Well, the slight problem with that idea is that LeChuck and I are basically mortal enemies. Fine. I don't need you or your money. I can do this on my own. If I can't buy a ship, I'll steal one. I'm a pirate. I'll find a way to get to Monkey Island no matter what it takes. I like the old pirate leaders better. Elaine?
Guybrush! Wait, are you going to tell a mushy part now?
A little, but I can skip over the hugs and kisses. Elaine!
Guybrush!
wouldn't happen to have a ship with you.
No, silly. I came on a charter. Just like you.
I figured that, but it never hurts to ask. I'm finding it harder than I thought to get hold of a ship and a crew for my expedition. The new local leadership was less than supportive.
Why don't you ask around at the docks? I'm sure you can find something.
Thanks. I'll try that. How's your scurvy prevention project?
It's great! We're going to get a lot of limes to a lot of sailors and save a lot of lives. I've got to come up with a way to deal with Captain Madison, though. The pressure she's putting on the town is making it hard for social programs like mine.
Sounds like we both met Captain Madison.
I don't like her. She's the one who pushed to shut down the shipyard.
She doesn't understand the value of the secret of Monkey Island.
She laughed at me.
Me too.
Obviously, the woman has no taste and a lousy sense of humor.
You've probably got to get going.
You say goodbye first.
Bye.
Bye.
It doesn't look finished. It's Elaine's flyer about how Elaine would kill me if she caught me pulling down her flyers. Going out of business? This place is an institution. Well, the voodoo here must be authentic, culturally, and historically accurate. The sign says so. The International House of Mojo. This place hasn't changed in years.
Welcome, Guybrush Threepwood.
Nice to see you again.
I have been waiting for you.
I'm going...
I know of your desire to find the secret of Monkey Island. Allow me to seek knowledge on your behalf.
Will it cost me anything?
Pride, free will. Not much. The way to the secret is like a serpent which swallows itself. Many obstacles lie ahead.
Serpent, obstacles, got it.
You must walk the path. Yet you have already walked the path.
And now I'm going back again.
When you are unsure of the way forward, open this book for guidance on what is to come.
It can tell me my future?
In a way. Think of it as a book of hints.
What is it really?
A book of hints. Use it wisely. To know too much diminishes the voyage.
Neat. Thanks.
No charge. Now you must go. I have a luncheon, and your destiny lies at the docks.
It does?
Most assuredly.
They're having a half-off sale. Property foreclosed by order of Madison Enterprises. Oh, this was what kind of person would just paint on a wall like that? Oh, yeah, that clock has been broken for decades now. Looks like Wally's got a new place in Melee. I hope he's not still sore about the monocle. At Chamber of Commerce Midnight Luncheon. Back shortly. The note says, forced to close. Thanks for the memories, but cash would have been better. Hi.
Everybody thinks they know more than the other.
Okay. Aww, this is where I risked my neck for Elaine, and she showed me she only needed me to risk my heart. Also, the windows need some work.
Hi there, newcomer.
Hiya. I'm Guybrush Threepwood.
Pleased to meet you. I'm Locksmith.
You're kidding, right?
Nope. And before you ask, yes, they did. Yes, it was. And they really, really wanted me to follow in the family business.
I'm on a quest to find the secret of Monkey Island.
Exciting. The story in my family is that the secret is sort of like a key, one that opens all locks at once.
That seems enormously useful.
Maybe. Depends on if you can close them again.
How would you like to join a pirate crew?
Would I have to leave my shop?
Well, yes, that's the general idea. The crew actually get on the ship and, crew it.
Thanks. I'll pass. Try down at the docks. There's always somebody hiring somebody down there.
Who's the old lady in the window across the way?
You mean Whitey Bones. She used to be the undertaker here years ago. Seems to know a lot of things that maybe don't quite fit together.
How well do you know Whitey Bones?
Not well at all. But she's been living near my shop for quite a few years. She was across from my old location, too.
Would she moved when you moved?
I'm sure it's just a coincidence.
I think I'll browse around a bit.
Try not to touch anything. I've got a system, and I don't like it disrupted.
I see a peninsula trailing off into small islands, but no X marks the spot.
It's southern Florida. I have family there.
Is that from a famous locksmith band or something?
My mother's band, the Golden Keys. They were named after some actual golden keys that she spent a bunch of time looking for.
These are nice.
It's a locksmithing test.
Close it all up, and if you get the key out, you pass?
That's the beginner level, yes. The real challenge is to lock the larger box inside the smaller one.
At the end of the plank.
My mother's. Please don't touch it.
What's this key?
That's for a lockable quiver.
Handsome looking parrot.
And also vicious. But it was my mother's favorite.
A visitor! Wait. Guybrush Threepwood?
Otis!
Howdy, kid.
And Stan. Otis, old pal. You haven't changed much since I last saw you.
I blame the government.
In fact, didn't we first meet right here?
Not at all. I was in the other cell that time. You look different somehow. New art style?
How nice of you to notice. Big news. I'm going after the secret of Monkey Island.
That sounds fantastic! You know what I remember most about Monkey Island? The time you busted me out of jail right before we went there. I don't cruise ships anymore. But maybe you can still help me out. Like you did all those years ago.
Possibly, though it was kind of tricky last time, and I didn't get much out of it in the end.
I would be most appreciative. A locksmith has opened very conveniently across the way. I am told locksmiths can make keys for things. Things like cell doors?
Imagine that. I assume you'll be here when I get back?
Don't tease me, Guybrush!
Watch your boots in here, son. It's like a swamp, without the clean parts.
Any writing that was once here has been rubbed away. I think there's some writing on it, but it's too tiny to read.
Welcome back.
Hello. Hello again. really make keys for stuff? That seems like a magic trick.
Modern locks have serial numbers that tell me all I need to know. No tricks necessary. Just information.
It seems wrong that you can make a key from just the serial number.
It's a failsafe, in case people lose their key. You know how people are.
Aren't locks way less secure if all you need is a number to get a new key?
That's why you should never share the serial number with anyone.
What happens if you lose your key and the serial number at the same time?
The numbers are usually engraved on the locks, just in case. And if you lose the lock, chances are you don't need a new key.
Well, what's to stop me reading the serial number on someone else's lock and having a key made?
The numbers are printed small enough that you need a special tool to read them. Only a pro would have a tool like that.
Can I borrow your lock serial number reading tool?
My magnifier? Not a chance. I could be drummed out of the union for that. If you want to play locksmith, you'll have to look elsewhere.
I think I'll browse around a bit.
Try not to touch anything.
What is that? It's definitely not a key. Or a lock.
It's a fishing lure, of course.
Of course.
Once you have a key, you've got to open the door.
It seems to be stuck closed. Employees only. I think it's a chandelier. Carla.
Guybrush Threepwood.
Hello, Swordmaster.
Prepare to taste my blade, you washed-up hack.
Let me show you what a hack looks like.
Pretty good, Guybrush. Right on point.
It's nice to see you again.
You too.
You've come far since I got you your first cushy government job.
I hope you're not about to try to take credit for me being governor, because that would be both absurd and obnoxious, and I might have to skewer you for it.
No, furthest thing from my mind.
I heard from your wife. She's coming by to talk about scurvy legislation. I assume you're involved with that somehow?
I'm not automatically involved with everything Elaine does just because we're married.
I can see that. If it isn't about the scurvy project, why are you here?
I'm looking for the secret of Monkey Island.
Good for you. I don't have it.
I'll be needing a crew. You interested?
Ha! I'd rather swallow a live badger than crew with you again. No offense intended.
So, unlikely but still possible?
No. You want a crew, go down to the docks and hire one.
Is there a government program that funds expeditions to find secrets of Monkey Island?
Oh, gosh. You're too late for that one. We canceled it last year and diverted the funds to build a habitat for the rare Caribbean whining leech.
Darn.
There's a ship at the docks that's headed for Monkey Island.
I think you're talking about LeChuck's ship.
Do you want to go to Monkey Island or don't you?
I should let you get back to governing.
Yes, you should.
I like your stuffed, guess it's a dog?
Please, take that and throw it away. It was a gift from the Earl of Thickwater, who is a contemptible pig.
It's a lot of work being governor.
Stay out of my bedroom, Threepwood.
The blurb says it's a solid if somewhat predictable story about a roguish pirate and a doomed romance with a woman of station. I've always thought this looked like my old ship, the Sea Monkey. How clever. Expedition to fabled Monkey Island. Crew positions available. Serve under LeChuck, the most fearsome pirate on the 8 seas. Equal opportunity employer. Inquire here.
Looking for a job? Step this way.
The clipboard in your hand says you're the quartermaster.
The crew says I'm the quartermaster. Clipboard doesn't get a vote. You look like a guy without many options. You want a job? I'm short a swabby. LeChuck's an equal opportunity employer. Even humans are mostly tolerated.
Have you got anything more senior?
Well, I need a second mate, a bosun, a ship surgeon, and a gunner. Do you think you're qualified for any of those?
I could be second mate.
Do you honestly have any idea what a second mate does?
Goes to store openings and funerals and waits for the first mate to be incapacitated?
I thought so.
I could be the gunner. Oh, I'd be great at that. Boom, boom.
You look a little scrawny. What do you bench?
Bench? No problem. I sat on one for 12 hours once. I can take it.
I have a lot to do today.
Maybe Swabby's not so bad after all.
The only requirement is that you bring your own mop. If you've got a mop, the job is... Hey, wait a minute. What's your name, sailor?
Smith. John Smith.
Uh-huh. LeChuck gave me a blacklist, and you're on it. In fact, you are the blacklist. I'm sorry. Can't hire you. You're obviously Guybrush Threepwood.
Well, that's a slight hitch.
I'm confused. Didn't you say you were gonna get your own ship?
Yes, but then suddenly I thought, why bother? I wanted a ship and a crew. Here was a ship and a crew. Ripe for the taking. All I had to do was get on board, wait for the right moment, and strike.
Strike?
Mutiny the crew, seize the ship. Be a pirate.
Except they wouldn't hire you because they knew who you were.
Yeah, that was a problem. Also, I needed a mop.
Why was Wally in such a hurry? He wouldn't sell us out to Madison, would he?
I believe he needed to relieve the pressure upon him in a different way.
I don't suppose you sell mops.
I cannot guide you on matters of mops. The true master is the cook at the scum bar.
Your sign says you're going out of business. Or is this one of those not really going out of business sales?
There is a new dark magic on the rise in the Caribbean. It has many adherents, particularly among the young. There is little demand for my talents or my wares. Business is terrible, and there are other factors. Captain Madison desires this location. That it belongs to me will be of little help against her financial and political powers.
Whoa, back up. Dark magic, you said?
I did.
How does dark magic work?
Runes, chemicals, the power of secrets. I am no expert. It's too sterile for my tastes. I like things messy and theatrical.
Is dark magic powerful?
Powerful, yes, it can be. But dangerous. If the badger chews his own tail, soon there is no more badger.
You like that metaphor a lot, don't you?
It has many uses.
Can dark magic get me to Monkey Island?
No.
Nuts. Where can I get my hands on some dark magic?
Dark magic is not your path, Guybrush Threepwood.
I'll get back to browsing the shop.
Act fast. Supplies are limited.
What's cooking?
The Feast of Knowledge.
This is a neat symbol. What does it mean?
That used to contain magical disguises. But alas, they have all gone.
Yeah, it's too bad you're sold out. A magic disguise seems really useful.
There's always the famous eye patch of John Laney at the museum. I'm sure the magic has worn off by now, but I believe I could restore its abilities.
Do you know more about this John Laney guy with the eye patch?
Captain John Laney was renowned as the pirate of 1,000 faces. It was said that he could fool his best friend with nothing more than an eye patch. That legend is true, but only because the eye patch he used was filled with much voodoo magic. The eye patch still exists. It is on display at the Museum of Pirate Lore here on Melee Island. If an enterprising person such as yourself were to liberate it and bring it here, I could most likely get it working again.
Got it. Thanks. I'll get back to browsing the shop.
Act fast. Supplies are limited.
A crystal. Yeah, this isn't that kind of game. The curtains are for sale too?
Everything goes. They'd make a great dress.
LeChuck, sir. Just thought I'd pop in and let you know. Preparations to set sail are almost done.
You have all the supplies for the spell to get to Monkey Island?
Check. Squid ink, chickens, brimstone, cinnamon, monkey blood, mint, and an annoying skull.
Well done! Mark yourself down for one less lashing this voyage.
Funny story. Guybrush Threepwood tried to sign on to the crew.
Threepwood? He must be looking for the secret too. That guy steals all my best ideas. Have him killed. Wait, let him live. I want him to see me sail off for Monkey Island knowing the secret is lost to him forever.
Sure. I want to bring this up one more time. Is searching for this mythical secret of Monkey Island a good idea? Shouldn't we be out terrorizing the high seas, instilling fear, creating mayhem, being more on brand for LeChuck?
I've had enough of you questioning my orders. Finish loading the ship, and whatever you do, don't let Threepwood on board.
Very well.
What happened to Stan's previously owned vessels? The window's all boarded up, and it's very dark in there. Is that an old toothbrush? The assets of this establishment have been seized to settle a class action lawsuit. Have a nice day. There was a time when every mooring would be filled with one of Stan's used ships. It's a dried up old sea sponge. Stan used this to clean his ships. It's all rusted out. There was a time when every mooring would be filled with one of Stan's used ships. It always looks bigger on this side of the island. This was where the fantastic Flying Fettuccine Brothers circus used to be. Nothing left but old tentpole holes. Wow, I could have had a totally different future if I'd stayed with them. Oh, I used to love these when I was 6. I used to love these when I was 6. Until I got trapped in one for 2.
Hi there. Welcome to the Melee Island Museum of Pirate Lore. I'm Conrad, the curator and docent here. The museum showcases the largest collection of pirate memorabilia in the Caribbean. Or on Melee Island at the very least. The provenance of each item has been very carefully researched and fact-checked by myself and my team. Feel free to explore. And if you have any questions, just ask.
That map looks familiar.
That's 1/4 of the original map to the treasure of Big Whoop. I got it from the cartographer on Low Street. Apparently, he was somehow involved in the search for Big Whoop.
About all Wally managed to do was get kidnapped by LeChuck's henchmen.
That's not the way he tells it.
I'm just trying to help.
Thanks. I've got it under control.
It's locked. There's some very tiny writing on it. There's some very tiny writing on it. The display case is locked. Is this a left hook or a right hook?
That once belonged to the dread pirate Meat Hook. Supposedly he was ambidextrous. Also, he used to live right here on Melee.
I'm hopelessly lost without a map. I'm hopelessly lost without a map. Hi again. Oh, those new pirate leaders are real jerks. They laughed at me, and they won't fund my expedition. Why didn't you warn me?
Would you have listened?
Of course. Okay, no, probably not. Honoring Melee Island's 27th governor, Carla the Swordmaster. Frankly, everything's spilled out of it in a puddle. A crystal. Yeah, this isn't that kind of game. Pointy.
It is a non-magical ceremony.
Oh, I'd like this knife.
An excellent choice. I will need you to verbally agree to a release of liability.
Okay.
This product is not to be used in the commission of any crime, including vandalism, jailbreak, and theft of ancient priceless artifacts.
No problem.
Threatening, frightening, stabbing, shaving, or manicuring yourself or another person are likewise considered outside the scope of acceptable use.
Oh, okay, I guess.
The product is not balanced for throwing. Throwing the product violates these terms and will invalidate the warranty. Whittling, scrimshaw, mumbledy-peg, juggling, and any tricks involving stacking or balancing the product may cause serious injury and should not be attempted by unlicensed persons.
Uh-huh.
Use with breads, spreads, bedspreads, or thread may damage the product. If damaged, the product should not be used. Product is sharp and should not be carried in a pocket, coat, belt, hatband, handbag, shoulder holster, or sheath. At all times, keep the product away from children, pets, the aged or infirm, clowns, pirates, and adults. Where possible, it should be locked securely in a vault. The manufacturer accepts no responsibility for the consequences of any use or misuse of this product. By verbally assenting to these terms, purchaser hereby assumes all liability, past, present, and future, throughout this and all possible and impossible universes.
Oh, is this where I say yes?
Yes.
Yes. Is there anything I am allowed to do with it?
I am not able to answer that question, as it could create a liability issue.
Never mind.
I never do.
What's this thing?
It's a forgiveness frog. When no apology will do, give the forgiveness frog. It's like a card, only much better because it's a frog.
I've never heard of that before. Are you sure it's real voodoo?
No comment. It works. Trust me.
I'll take this forgiveness frog.
It can help someone forgive even very old transgressions.
Property foreclosed by order of Madison Enterprises. Hey, Wally.
Well, 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 look what the surf washed ashore. It's Guybrush Threepwood.
Nice to see you again too, Wally. Whatever your last name is.
I spent years in therapy getting over being burned, blinded, blown up, abandoned, and marooned because of you.
Yeah, good times, huh?
You're lucky I'm past all that and am running the best map shop within the Caribbean and beyond.
I'm looking for a map through the forest.
What are you trying to find in the forest?
I don't know. Nothing in particular.
Then having a map won't really be any different than wandering around lost, will it?
Yeah, but, I mean, well, never mind. I'm looking for a mop.
This is maps and more, not mops and more.
Well, I was hoping the and more might include mops.
Well, it doesn't. Try asking the cook over at the bar where he got his.
You wouldn't happen to have a map to the secret of Monkey Island.
Funny you should ask. I recently made one on commission, but then they destroyed all my source material. It is the only one in existence. Best of luck to you.
Bye. They're like glasses, only way. Ooh, look behind you! A three-headed monkey!
Oh, please take one. I use them to promote my business. See, it says maps and more on the edge.
Thanks. Better to have one for each eye.
If you say so.
Hey, kid! How's your day going?
I think there's some writing on it, but it's too tiny to read. I can read the serial number. I'll write it down so I don't forget.
You look like you're...
Most of this serial number has been rubbed off.
Hello, Mr. Brush.
Hi there. Are these for customers?
Not technically, but please, help yourself. That charming old guy who mans the lookout keeps bringing them for the parrot.
Thanks. I'll just take a few. Hello again. Tell me again about how to have keys made. It's exciting.
It's pretty straightforward.
It's really clean in here. Do you have a mop I could use?
I simply don't allow filth to accumulate in the first place. Try somewhere a little less sanitary, like the...
I think I'll browse around a bit.
Try not to touch anything.
It's good for relieving stress. This is the number for the jail cell lock. Can you make me a key from this serial number?
Sure. Good choice on the lock. These are really sturdy. It's the same kind they use over at the jail.
Ooh, wow. What a coincidence. I had no idea.
Hey, Guybrush!
Hey, kid! They say the only real prison is the one in your head. But take it from me, that's a load of barnacles.
Otis, the authorities have reconsidered your case and decided that you should go free.
I'm very grateful to the authorities and will not mention their name should any awkward questions be asked. Good luck, Stan. I hope you get acquitted.
Oh, it's in the bag, friend, but thanks.
I'll stay on this side of the bars, just in case.
Word of advice, kid, no thanks. I'm about to be acquitted. Escaping looks bad.
I don't remember this place being so leaky. Aww, this is where I risked my neck for Elaine, and she showed me she only needed me to risk my heart. Also, the windows need some work. It's a working parrot. I shouldn't bother it. The display case is locked. The numbers are a little clearer, but still too tiny to read. The numbers are a little clearer, but still too tiny to read.
Guybrush Threepwood, as I live and breathe. How have you been?
Fine.
How's Elaine? She was always my favorite governor. Also, she covered your tab when you stopped coming in.
She's here on the island.
Well, of course, she came with you.
No, I didn't even know she'd be here.
Oh, well, tell her I say hello.
Do you know where I can buy a mop?
Buy? You don't want to buy a mop.
I think I do.
The mop is the formal tool of a cook. Not as clumsy or random as a dish rag. An elegant tool for a more civilized cleaning. You cannot hope to succeed with the mop of another.
I can't?
You must construct your own. A single, perfect instrument that you will keep and use for a lifetime.
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
Once you build it, the mop will become your constant companion, your tool, and a ready means of defense against spills of all kinds.
Build it?
The wood is the heart of the handle. The heart is the handle of the cook. You are one.
Not helpful so far.
You must find a particular tree. A tree uniquely suited to the handles of mops. Carve your handle from a limb of that tree. Any questions?
Nope, I'm good. What's wrong?
You gave the story the wrong title. It should be called Mop Quest. When do we get to the piratey parts?
Well, even the coolest professions involve more mopping up than you would think. It seemed crazy to me at the time, too, But don't forget, it was all so I could board a ship, take command, and sail to Monkey Island. But first, I had to make a mop.
Active little guys, aren't they?
Well, it's definitely a mop.
Stay away from my mop.
The plaque says, "In memory of looming seagulls of old." I think someone tried to secure a boat with this. If one monocle is good, crystal clear. I'll just write that down. Hey, Wally. I'm looking for a tree to make a stupid mop from. Have you got a map for that?
So the cook has sent you on one of his spiritual journeys? Been a while since I made one of those mop tree maps. What kind of tree is it again?
I don't know. A wood one?
That's okay. Just bring me a sliver of the wood and I can work it out from there. I'm that good.
Bye. Do I owe you anything at the moment?
I don't think so.
Never seen one of those before.
Hello, Mr. Brush.
Hello. Can you make me a key from this serial number?
Sure. This will be for a high-end display case. You a collector?
Yeah. Stamps. The display case is locked. It doesn't fit.
What do you expect me to do, Elaine? Issue a proclamation?
Of course not, Carla. We'll need to generate public support. I'm working on that.
People around here don't like any kind of restrictions, even if it's for their own good.
But we can put a requirement on ships traveling to the north. There's already a customs check, so the infrastructure is all in place.
Well, it's a start. Scurvy's a big problem. Let's do all we can.
Agreed.
I've come a long way. Is there anything else on the agenda?
Coffee?
Hey, watch it! Hi, Cobb. Hard to believe after all these years you're still here.
I was declared a historical landmark.
Nice talking to you.
Yeah.
Stay away from my mom.
Pleasantly scorching hot. Ugh, I remember that stench as if it were yesterday. Classic and subtle. Like me. But I don't need to be wearing this right now. Oh, you look like the health inspector tasted your stew. Or you did.
Worse. Marlin is here.
Who?
The customer I have nightmares about. He's the only importer of yak fat on the island, so I need to keep him happy, but he makes that impossible. Today he wants me to make him a dish that he ate last week at some kind of event at the governor's mansion. But of course he doesn't remember what it's called or know what's in it or even remember what color it was. He says he thinks it has ingredients in it. I don't have the slightest idea what to make.
Can I ask you again about the mop I need to make?
Sure.
What kind of wood is the tree?
That is something you must
How do I find the mop handle tree?
I can't tell you.
Okay, thanks. Looks like a mugshot. Can I borrow a book?
You've got a lot of nerve asking that. You never brought back the last book you borrowed. I had to buy another copy. You never even apologized.
I'll pay for it.
I don't need your money.
It's a cookbook. It has 4 stars, but it looks like they're for difficulty. Can I borrow a book?
You never brought back the last book you borrowed. You never even apologized.
I totally forgot.
Of course you did. You think like a cow.
I've come for a recipe. A dish you served at a recent function. It's been described as having ingredients in it. Ring any bells?
Barbie LaFleur catered that event. I own her cookbook, but I don't know any of the recipes.
Do you know where I can find Barbie LaFleur?
Middle of the Atlantic Ocean? She's halfway back to France by now.
I should let you get back to governing.
Yes, you should.
Here.
You're giving me a frog?
It's a forgiveness frog, for when words aren't enough.
That is complete nonsense. And yet, I am going to forgive you for losing my book. I can't even explain why. I just have this sudden, inexplicable urge to forgive. You'd better not be up to something.
Just don't lose the frog, okay?
No, I'll keep it with me always.
Can I borrow this cookbook?
You cook like a cow.
That's why I need the cookbook.
Oh, all right. I was upset after you lost the last one, but you seemed genuinely sorry, so I guess I'll give you another chance.
Thanks. I won't let you down. I'll definitely return this. I found this at the governor's mansion.
Aha! The mystery dish must be in there. I have no idea which one it'll be, so I'll just have to make them all. I'd better get to work. Thanks, Guybrush. Keep your hands off my mop! Brilliant innovation.
Wally, here's a sample of the wood you wanted. Can you make me a map now?
Sure, here it is.
Thanks, Wally. Never seen one of those before.
Wow!
The distinctive shape tells me this is the rare endangered Malay Island mop handle tree. Mind your mama, little prickly kids. I made him up. It's a single perfect I'll take a shortcut back.
Threepwood, are you trying to fool me by wearing an eye patch? That is the worst disguise I've ever seen.
No, of course not. Just having a little eye trouble. Blepharospasm.
Oh, try some cashews. You might be short on magnesium. Or wits.
Darn, I thought this thing was supposed to be magic. I must have forgotten something. I better take off this eye patch first. this?
Ah, the famous eye patch disguise of John Laney. As I suspected, the magic has long since drained away. One moment. Come, spirits of deception and death, drink your rejuvenation and awaken.
Death?
It's nothing to worry about. John Laney, this hapless boy needs your help.
Hey.
Take pity on him and bring him the power to hide from his enemies.
Well, you don't have to put it like that. That's it?
Unless you want the extended service warranty.
No, thanks. I'm not a sucker. What do I owe you?
Maybe try it on first, before we discuss payment.
Well, how do I look? Ah! What the heck? I look like a zombie. Is it broken?
John Laney was especially known for impersonating monsters of various types.
You failed to mention that earlier.
It's not a strong part of the sales pitch.
I'll just wear it when I really need to. Ugh.
You're welcome.
I think I'm ready to set sail. I should move farther away from the quartermaster so she... Hi there. You must be the quartermaster.
Yep, you look like a guy without many options. I need a swabby. It's BYOM. So, show me a decent mop and the job's yours.
Okay.
I don't have time for chit-chat. I'm trying to get this ship provisioned and out to sea. But show me a mop and you can come along.
How's this for a mop?
Let's see. Stick, tangle a boat line. Smells like seagull droppings. Wait a minute. I've seen this mop before. Where did you get it?
I stole it from a pirate.
Oh, LeChuck will like that. You're hired.
Great.
We'll be getting underway soon. Why don't you come on board and I'll introduce you to the crew.
I'm excited to see my stateroom. When's a good time to discuss the benefits package?
Threepwood's on LeChuck's ship. He's got some kind of disguise. From the bargain bin, it looks like.
So what?
You don't think this could be a problem? We didn't plan for him.
I hate not knowing what's going on. I should have taken him out the minute he walked in here.
Don't worry, we'll know what's going on.
Yeah? How?
I've got a spy on board the ship.
So once you were on LeChuck's ship, you turned the tables on them. You whipped out your sword and said, "I'm your captain now. Take me to Monkey Island, or you'll all walk the plank."
More or less.
The name's Gullet, but you're not to call me that. To you, I'm the first swab, and I want to hear the capital letters when you say it.
Capital 1. Got it.
And this is the old. You'll be spending a lot of time down here.
I thought we'd have a union or something. How much time is a lot of time?
All of it. You work here. You sleep here. You take your meals here. Forget the world you knew before. This hold is your world. The hull is your ground, the deck is your sky, and I am your deity of choice, a cruel and vengeful deity. I only have one simple rule. You are not to leave this hold under any circumstances. Any questions?
What am I supposed to be doing exactly?
New recruits. You're all thicker than the chickens.
Is that the whole answer?
You're supposed to be swabbing. I want this hold sparkling, as if it was clean. Now, get to work.
Yo-ho, a pirate's life for me. No way am I picking that up with my hands. I think it's chicken grease. I hope my roommates don't get upset.
Looks like you missed a spot.
Aw.
Oi, you missed a spot.
Come on.
You missed a spot.
Is that your catchphrase?
Oi, you missed a spot.
Seriously, get some new
Oi, you missed a spot.
Oh, nuts. I think it's chicken grease. I hope my roommates don't get upset.
Looks like you missed a spot.
Oh, nuts.